I've happened to play a lot of championship basketball, a lot of meaningful basketball. Buddy hasn't had the opportunity to play a bunch of meaningful basketball in this league. Guess what? It's our job to make sure he understands what that means.
In 2024, Buddy Hield broke his streak for the most active games played without ever scratching the playoffs. This man played in 632 games before playing in one game that actually mattered. Here's the all-time list of players that played in the most games without ever making the playoffs. As you can see, Buddy Hield is actually an all-time great in this category. But I'm about to show you the list and how it possibly can look if one of the most expensive contracts in basketball simply plays 36 more games.
Lauri Markkanen is a
beast.
dog.
Your dog. He's just so efficient. And he don't need much. Like
He don't need much at all, bruh.
To be like a star, all-star, like his usage rate is so low. Like he don't need the ball that much, but he just find a way to make it happen. You look up, he got 20 and 10.
Lauri Markkanen has one of the most fun games to watch. And most importantly, he has to have one of the most desired careers ever. We see older players hate on the new generation all the time, and more specifically, the money they make. And even though it's not really all his fault, a career like this might be why. Lauri got drafted in 2017. He's literally a part of one of the steepest drafts of the last decade. All of the notable players in this draft class, they played in some pretty big games. The player with the most playoff games played since Lauri Markkanen got drafted is his draft mate, Jason Tatum. Bam has played in 2 NBA finals. Donovan Mitchell has at least played well in the playoffs despite those disappointing ass teams. Isaiah Hartenstein recently won an NBA championship. Derek White won an NBA championship. Kyle Kuzma has kinda had a goofy career, but he's won. Mainly all the talented players in this class, to some degree, has played in some big games. All except Lauri Markkanen, who simply can't escape the rebuild cycle. I'm making this video because like last week, I seen this tweet, and like a week after that, I keep seeing Lauri Markkanen do this and stuff like this. And it feels like all of this, since he's been in this league, mind you, it's year 9 now, it's meant little to nothing. In 2022, Lauri was included in a package to go to Utah, which ultimately sent Donovan Mitchell, his draft mate, to Cleveland. When Utah traded Donovan, Danny Ainge was in the process of rebuilding a team that clearly reached their ceiling. The Utah Jazz, they were in the midst of making 6 straight playoffs, had a first seed in one of those playoffs, was up 3-1 in one of those playoffs, and they never even made a conference finals. The last 2 years, with Donovan and Rudy Gobert, they played teams with major injuries to their best players and still lost. Clearly, it was time to rebuild. So they fired their head coach and moved on from their 2 best players. Insert Lauri. I'll never forget, right after they made their direction to the fans extremely clear, we're rebuilding, and how that first season with Lauri and the new plan started. Utah started their first 13 games as the first seed in the West, and Lauri looking like the clear most improved player. That wasn't the plan, especially when we seen this dude in the following draft. They didn't move Donovan and Rudy Gobert, fire Quinn Snyder to still be good. They wanted to suck, and that wasn't really happening. At the infamous 2023 trade deadline, they chose their direction and moved Mike Conley, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and killed any success they had that year. But what ultimately became their most valuable trade asset, he was still awkwardly there. In 2021, Lauri signed this deal with Chicago that lasted all the way up until the beginning of last year. That contract aged to be one of the best contract bargain deals in the league. It was very flexible and very easy to move. But I guess I get it. It's Utah. Stars always leave. Players typically don't want to be there. And Lauri basically came out of nowhere. In the year they hosted the All-Star game, he made an All-Star team, won the most improved player, and he sounded like he wanted to be there. But unfortunately, him being there at his age and now his price, it benefits absolutely no one. 2024 summer. This was an extremely pivotal time for Lauri and most importantly, Utah. I understand what he's done for the franchise, but trade this man and get some value for him while his price is high, or commit to him fully. Golden State was extremely desperate. They sent offers. San Antonio sent offers. He was one of the most important players of that summer. And Danny Ainge, he acted like this man's trade value was prime KD, and no deals got done, no trades were made, and Lauri signed this contract, which last year instantly became one of the worst in the sport. Why was the contract so bad? Well, the timing of the contract was bad.
He will A, not be trade eligible for the entire 24-25 season because he is not eligible to be traded for 6 months, which, Dan, is what?
The day after the 2025 trade deadline.
And the worst part, his production instantly plummeted on this deal. Last season, Lauri wasn't really healthy. He played his career low in games. And then it was like Utah realized last minute, oh wait, we should be tanking.
Look, we all know what the Utah Jazz are doing, right? They're trying to position the team for the best possible draft pick. Is there such a thing as tanking too hard? Today, the NBA announced that it has fined the Utah Jazz $100,000 for violating the league's player participation policy.
Utah sat him out at the end of the year, trying to better their odds to possibly get Cooper Flagg, which we know didn't even happen. And it just felt like complete mismanagement of that entire situation. But now, oddly this year, Lauri came back from that fantastic Eurobasket run in the summer. And in the first month of this season, he's averaging 30 amongst these guys. Also, this year, he has 345 plus games. This is the best basketball he's played. Unfortunately, he just has this contract attached to him. And with how frugal teams are now with aprons, he's much tougher to move than he was 2 years ago. It's crazy because his teammate that he's played with on 2 different teams, his career started out somewhat similar.
Kevin Love is going to start to get the pressure of, you're a marquee player, maybe one of the top 5, certainly one of the top 10 players. You have to start making the playoffs. I think Love is starting to feel that pressure a little bit here.
Kevin started his first 400 games plus without ever playing in the playoffs, just like his star teammate. And now for Lauri Markkanen, playing in Chicago, where he was clearly misused and they wanted him to be a stretch 5 at times. And then going to Cleveland for a year, where he played small forward and was a part of this humongous starting lineup, to now being in Utah, where we clearly see how good he is, but the team's direction doesn't really fit his timeline. A combination of all of that has resulted in him probably being the most irrelevant star we have. Since Lauri has been drafted, and again, it's not all his fault, but out of anybody that scored like he has, he's won the absolute least. I really hope this man at some point plays for one contending team.
They are rebuilding, and there is, in my opinion, nothing that Lauri Markkanen can do that will keep this team out of the Western Conference basement.
If you guys like this video, let me know in the comment section how exactly you feel about Lauri. I just feel like Utah kind of mismanaged his prime. Follow my social media sites, turn on post notifications, do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.